I showed you all the fantasy sci-fi paperbacks I bought recently. Now it's time to show you the hardcovers. Good day to all you lovely people. Today I am going to show you all the fantasy and hardcovers that I got in the last few months. Some of these were gifts, some of them I bought secondhand, and some I got during Prime sales when they were heavily reduced. I actually recorded the bulk of the books in a video several months ago, but never got around to editing it. So I'm going to include also the books I received since then. And as usual, I'm going to ask you guys to have a guess just how many books you think I have here. And I'll give you a hint, it's a lot. And at the end of the video, I will tell you the exact number. Okay, all right, I'm just going to get started here because there's quite a few books I need to get through. Like always, I never show you just a few, do I? All right. The first lot of books are all Anne McCaffrey books. After doing my bookshelf tours, I realized that I was missing some of her books, and I've been wanting to reread her Pern series. So I've been hunting for the other books, and I discovered that it was cheaper to buy them in hardcover sometimes than in paperbacks, and I've got no problems in buying hardcovers. They're all the book club edition size, which I don't mind because they all match. The first one is this, Narilka's Story and the Kolura. I know I mispronounced that. Lovely little hardcover. Dragon's Dawn. Aren't they gorgeous? I love these covers. The Renegades of Pern. All the Weirs of Pern. The Skies of Pern. The Chronicles of Pern, the first 4. Red Star Rising, the second Chronicles of Pern. The Master Harper of Pern. And The Dolphins of Pern. Pegasus in Space is the second book in the Talents, I think, series. I already have the first. The next 4 are the Kateni sequence series. The first is Freedom's Landing. I had a lot of trouble with these. I kept finding different editions that didn't match, but now I've got the whole set. This one is Freedom's Choice, Freedom's Challenge, and the last is Freedom's Ransom. I haven't read this series and I'm looking forward to reading it soon. Yeah, when I say soon, who knows when. This one was heavily reduced during Prime and I've been wanting to try T. Kingfisher, so I bought it, Nettle and Bone. It's not a very long book, so I think I might read it quite soon. I cannot recall the name of this series. This is the second book, Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. I think I saw it on Kim's channel at the Paper Traveller. And it sounded interesting because I think it is either dystopian or post-apocalyptic. This one had been reduced to $11, which is why I bought it. You can't get anything for $11 today, especially a thick hardcover like this. Charlene Harris, From Dead to Worse. I found a few of these for quite a reasonable price, so I thought I would buy them. Unfortunately, I cannot get the earlier books though. They're really difficult to get in hardcover. So I'm content with the ones that I've got. I think now I have about 5 or 6 in hardcover and the rest in paperbacks. Deadlocked is another one I got. And the last is Dead and Gone. Okay. This is what happens when you can't make up your mind. I have this series, which is the Elenium series, already in the US edition. And I was really happy to have it complete and matching, and I don't like it. So I've decided instead I'm going to get the UK edition. Now I've got both and I can't decide what to do with them, so I think I'm going to keep them both for now. It is my favorite of the Eddings books anyway. This is The Diamond Throne, the first book in the Elenium. And this is the second book, The Ruby Knight. It's crazy. Out of the two lots of the same books, I like two in one series and two in another. What can you do, right? I do not want to mix them up. Doesn't matter. I'm very glad now that I got it, and obviously this was secondhand and a very reasonable price as well. Peter V. Brett, The Desert Prince. This is the first book in a sequel series to The Demon's Cycle, which I'm currently reading. I'm up to book 4. I think there is a second book already out, which I haven't got, but I want to see if I like this one first. I got it for a steal at the book grocer. I think I paid like $9, and it's a really big book. Yeah, I never say no to bargains like that. Raymond E. Feist, The Kings of Ashes. This is the first book in a new series, the Fireman Saga. The Queen of Storms is the second book. I've already got the third, and this was actually a gift from my brother. A Kingdom Besieged. This is the first book in the Chaos War Saga. I think this might be part of the very last books in the Rift War Saga series, I think. I haven't been able to find the others yet, but I found this one for a very reasonable price. I do love Feist, but I have a lot of his books to read now. Magician's End. This is the last book in the Chaos War Saga, which is supposed to feature Pug and is in relation to the Rift War cycle. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic because I haven't got to it yet. Evan Winter, The Rage of Dragons. I've heard great things about this series, though it's not complete. This is the first book in, I think it's called the Burning series. The second book in the series is The Fires of Vengeance. I believe there is a third one coming out, hopefully next year. Exiles by Melanie Rawn, the first book in the Ruins of Ombre series, I think it is called. I already have the second book in hardcover. She has not finished this series, unfortunately, but I don't like having one in hardcover and one in paperback. So when I found this, I bought it. Julian May, Jack the Bottleless. This is the first book in, I think it's the Galactic Milieu series. I didn't think I could find it because I have the others now in hardcover, and now it is complete. The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I actually bought this from Broken Binding because I was getting some other books. I couldn't decide if I liked this cover better or the US one. Still, this is a beautiful cover and I really want to read it. I think this is fantasy mystery. Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. This is a debut novel. It is, I believe, fantasy mystery as well. And I am going to read this one, I think, in September. Well, that's my aim anyway. This one is secondhand, Voice of the Demon by Kate Jacoby. It is part of the Elita series. I actually thought it was a regular hardcover, and I'm not sure what you call these. I wish they'd do all of them like this because dust jackets get dirty all the time. Anyway, I've still got a few more in this series to collect. I don't know if I'll find them. I guess we will see. The Passage by Justin Cronin. This is the first book in the trilogy called The Passage, and I've actually read it. I really enjoyed this. It was well worth it. Post-apocalyptic, similar to The Stand. The 12 is book 2. The City of Mirrors is book 3. Star Wars Choices of One, I think it is called, by Timothy Zahn. If he writes a book in the Star Wars universe, I buy it. I haven't read this one. It's one of the few I haven't read yet. Mark Lawrence, The Book That Wouldn't Burn. This is the first book in a new series. Book 2, The Book That Broke the World. I've been waiting for this to drop in price. City of Lost Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I have now a couple of books of his that I want to read, and this is definitely one of them. Song of Mysteries by Janie Wards, the very last book in her Wars of Light and Shadow series. I have several of the books to read before I can get to the last one, but now that it is complete, I am definitely going to finish this series. James A. Corey, Cibola Burns. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. I have the first 3 books already, and this one was again heavily reduced during Prime, so I bought it. I'm wanting to start this series soon, but who knows when. Tad Williams, Stone of Farewell. This is book 2 in Memory, Sorrow and Thorn series. I actually found it at Brotherhood Books. It was marked as average or poor, but it is in fantastic condition and it cost me hardly anything. So I was really pleased when I found it. Blade of Dream by Daniel Abraham, the second book in the Kithama trilogy. Again, I think I got this one for a bargain somewhere, but I can't recall where. The Second Great Dune trilogy by Frank Herbert. I have the first matching one, and when I saw this, I thought I'm going to get it. So at least now I have all 6 books, I think, that Herbert wrote in the Dune series. They're bloody beautiful if you ask me. This one has silver writing, the other one is gold. And they look fantastic on the shelf too, I can't deny it. Empire of the Damned by J. Christoph. I got this from Broken Binding. It's also signed by the author, and it has red sprayed edges. I haven't read this one yet. It's the second book in the series. I have read the first one though. And last but not least is a box set of, I think it is called The Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. I got it through his Kickstarter and it was a bit of an impulsive buy. I haven't started it yet. It is 6 books and I believe they're all signed as well. Age of Myth is the first book. Age of Swords, book 2. Age of War. Age of Legend. I love this one. I just love these covers actually. They're really beautiful. Age of Death. And the final book, Age of Empire. Now I'm going to show you the more recent books I bought, and this is the first. The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, the first book in the Empire of the Wolf series. I also bought book 2, Tyranny of Faith, and the third, Trials of Empire. Now, this is what happens when you buy all the books in a series without having read at least one. I have read the first book, The Justice of Kings, and I didn't like it. And I've now regretted buying the rest of the books because I don't really want to read them. I might because I bought them and I feel guilty, but I don't know when. And if anything, it has just reminded me not to buy all the books in a series before I've tried at least one. Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This is the first book, I think, in another series of his that I can't recall the name of. It's epic fantasy, I believe. And I got it secondhand for a steal. I'm intending to try Brent Weeks at some point. I'm just not sure when. A Touch of Dead by Charlene Harris. This is, I believe, the complete collection of all the short stories in relation to the Suki Stackhouse books. And I wanted them, so I was really pleased to find it. And I think I got this secondhand as well. It's only a little book actually, but at least they're all in the one place. The Failures by Benjamin Lyon, the first book in the Wonderland series, I think. What I've read about it is that it is reminiscent of The Dark Tower by Stephen King, which is one of my favourites. And I think it is a debut novel as well. So I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but maybe one day soon. Persepolis Rising by James S.A. Corey. This is part of the Expand series and was a gift for my birthday. I don't have all the books, but I'm slowly collecting them. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I've heard good things about this author. I now have 2 books by him. One was a gift, but this one was reduced and it's science fiction, and I'm trying to read a little bit more science fiction. Not sure when I'll get to it, but who knows? It's only a standalone, so I might grab it one day when I'm in the mood. A Knight of 7 Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin. I have been resisting buying any of his books because I wanted the last in the Song of Ice and Fire, but we don't know if we're going to get that. And I thought, you know what? I do love his writing and I'd like to read some of his more recent books, so I bought it. It's not a very long book, so who knows? I might slot it in between other series. It's a beautiful cover too, isn't it? The Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. This was actually a birthday gift, and it is the first book in the Wanderers series by him. And now that I've got both books, I will be reading them in 2025. It's very thick though, just like the second. House of Open Wounds by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the second book in the Tyrant Philosophers series. I just read the first book and I'm intending to start this sometime soon actually. Not sure if it'll be this month, maybe next month. But it's just beautiful. I love the spines as well. These are some of the most gorgeous books I've seen in a long time. Shadow in Summer by Daniel Abraham, the first book in the Long Price Quartet. I actually started it last night. I've only read the prologue though, so it's too early to tell, but I do like Abraham's writing. I am really looking forward to reading this because many people whose opinions I respect love it. Now, I haven't bought the rest of the books in the series. I wanted to make sure I liked this before I did. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. Now, as I was recording this, I realized I forgot one book because I only received it recently. It's actually up on the shelf. It is the second book in the Memory, Sorrow and Thorns series by Tad Williams. It's Stone of Farewell, and it is the Broken Binding Special Edition, which is gorgeous, just like the first. So I'm going to include a picture here for you so you can see it up close. But wow, I think these are the most beautiful books I've seen in a very long time. There are a lot of covers I like, but I like everything about these. So now I've got the first 2, and I think I should get the next 2 over the next few months. But I'm going to include it in today's haul. Well, that is all the books I've got for you today. Did you guess how many? Now, according to my calculations, it should be 65. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. If I'm wrong though, I will correct myself on the screen. The truth is though that books are so much cheaper now than they used to be. I have been collecting books since the 80s, even 70s, but really it was from the 80s that I started buying hardcovers, and you just could not buy all that many because they were so expensive. And if I wanted any from, say, the States through Amazon, the shipping did not make them worthwhile. So I bought few and far between. But nowadays, Not only are the books much more reduced than they used to be, I don't pay for shipping because I am an Amazon Prime member. And that is the only reason I have Amazon Prime. It is worth it just for the free shipping. But the truth is, this is a lot of books. I have been buying so many this year. I can't deny it. And I realize it's going to take me several years to read all of these. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop buying because I know myself. It just means that I will slow down. Better books though than something else, right? Yeah. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. Now, of course, I'd love to hear from you guys. Which books have you bought recently? Which one of my books do you really like? You know, I always want to hear from you. And you can let me know down in the comments. Well, thank you so much to all of you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you like this video, then you know what to do. You can like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I wanted to thank all my patrons, but a big shout out to my book dragons, Gabriella, Johanna, Joe, Kiki, Laurie, and Michael.